Thank you so much for coming to my talk. Today we're going to chat about keeping a community for 5 years by telling the story of my company, Day9 TV. My name's Sean, or as is plastered up on the main screen, I'm Day9. And I want to start by talking about media. Because traditional media is a one-way street. The creator make it, the consumer consumes it, and that's it. But instant you get community in there, the content stream becomes multi-way. Consumers can make for each other. Now, there's a ton of talks at GDC that will chat about the literal quantitative impact on your bottom line, what the effects of having a community are, and I'm totally not going to talk about that today. We're just going to work under the assumption that that's true. It's generally agreed upon that communities are great and great for supporting your business. The question that we get asked a lot, and the question the gaming industry is asking itself a lot, is how do you grow that community? And that's why I want to talk about our story with Day9 TV, because we've been around for 5 years. A little bit about our business. We make video content for the gaming lifestyle, like strategy videos for a great game called StarCraft. Woo! My people, my people. And in a sense, Day9 TV lives in the worst possible intersection of two extremely volatile industries, web TV and esports, each of which shifting massively in the last 5 years. And the only way that we've been able to maintain our success is by having a community focus. The fact that we have emphasized building that community has provided us amazing support with everything that we've done. It has been our hedge against volatility. And I want to share these learnings, some of the best practices, and in sharing this story, these are the 3 big themes. Number 1, to build a good community, ask, what can I do for my community? Not, what can my community do for me? Nothing hurts me so much as when I hear a company talk about social media as purely advertising and marketing. Yeah, sure, you can click on a URL link and someone can buy a product from there. But if you want to build a community, 95% of your social media behavior should be content, an article that they'd be interested in, a video. If they're not funny and you tweet a joke, they get to retweet it and look funny. You get that chance to build a community using social media. The currency of community is contribution. The second big theme is to hang out with your community and to talk like a real person. You can do focus groups and do research, but nothing replaces being a member of your community and simply knowing their interests and talking to them in their native language. Now, I want to do a brief note about the sort of, PR marketing sheets that you'd send out at the announcement of something big. That's great, those carefully crafted messages, how they look. That's great some of the time, but not always. It's like Valentine's Day, where you craft a perfect little gift for your spouse, and you get one of those letters with a flowery language. It's like, I love you forever and always, baby. You're my sweet angel. I don't know, whatever you put on your cards. And that's great for Valentine's Day, but not for the other 364 days of the year. It's important to be personal because that personal connection builds that reputation of authenticity with your audience. And the third one, empower your community and its leaders. The community is the biggest resource you have. They get your space so well because they're fans. They're part of the community. Involve them. Create systems for their interaction with each other to, again, help make that content stream multi-way. Because text is horrible, we cut most of it out and highlighted the orange parts. The 3 big themes. What can I do for my community? Hang out with the community and talk like a real person. And empower your community and its leaders. So now I want to talk about myself. Who am I? We're going to cover all these years. Whoopsie daisies. We accidentally zoomed way far ahead in the presentation, so we're just going to pull back. So the question, who am I? We can sum it up very simply by saying that I play StarCraft. This is what I did for 11 years playing on the competitive circuit, getting more and more into the game, more and more into the community. This is a photo of me winning a tournament. Boom! Thinly veiled brag at GDC. Team Liquid didn't just become my homepage, it was my home. It's where I spent all of my time after school chatting with people, staying up till 2 a.m. to begin watching the Korean pro matches with people who were just like me. And on October 22nd, 2009, I had this idea. You know what would be cool? A 5-day-a-week web show where in each episode I take a professional Korean match and I break it down because I played for 11 years. Now, I want to note a couple things about this. This is actually a very high-resolution image that you're looking at. The graininess is the graininess of the camera that I used in that first episode. It is not a huge quality barrier to entry. Very simple, very clean setup. And thusly, the Day9 Daily was born. And for that first year and a half period, the big lessons we learned were about seeding and growing a community. So in starting the Day9 Daily, we just knew the community would like it. It was clear, because we were part of the community. We could go to their native habitat, teamliquid.net, the heart of the StarCraft community. We would make videos, and when we posted them, people could respond in the forums and say, you have to do this match next week. You have to do it tonight. And 15 people would say, please do it tonight, and I could respond right there in the forum and implement that change that evening. Not only was the iteration loop extremely rapid, but everyone could see the iteration in a very public way. The only promotion that the Daily has ever done is that one forum post. This was all possible getting this kick-started because we knew what the community wanted, because we were members of the community. We learned that consistency is key. Not the big quality, not the flashy cameras or anything like that, but consistency. We saw no dramatic spike, no rough period, no trough, slow and steady growth. After 7 months, we'd grown from 57 concurrent viewers in the first episode to about 2,500 per episode. As a matter of fact, we were the #1 channel on the entire original live streaming platform that we began with. And this is where our first big test occurred. We had been iterating in the community, talking to them. We'd been producing content regularly, and we wanted to move to a different platform. That's a scary thing, to try to retrain your whole audience to go from where they've been watching to someplace new. But when we switched, we let the community know, and that very first episode on Ustream broke all of our previous records. We hit 4,000 concurrents for the first time ever. It was a really important validation for our method. Every community also needs an anchor. Obviously, the content for the Day9 TV community is the Day9 Daily, is that show that began. And what we saw in this period is that the tone of this content sets the tone of the community. Absolutely critical to note. The Day9 TV community is about learning, kindness, having a blast, and keeping everybody involved. And this message just permeated throughout every single episode, being respectful to everyone's questions, laughing a lot, never singling anyone out and trying to make fun of them. And this caused just a beautiful reflection in the community. So as a concrete example of the kind of content that can set tone, we decided for the launch of StarCraft 2 that we were going to do a launch event. It had only been in beta in 2009, and on July 27th, it was going to be in full release. So because we're ambitious idiots with no experience in live event planning, we said, you know what would be cool? A 12-hour live stream event with a live audience, held at a venue that would have board games and food and places for people to chat and hang out. And of the 12 hours of video content, all of it would be contributed by the community. We reached out to all the major influencers, all the major people in the community, and got them to make video content for us. And it was great. This is at Harvey Mudd College. Look at these people just being silly and having fun. There were places and ways for people to interact with each other, and this was only made possible by the amazing warmth and support of the community. If you empower your community, amazing things happen. To this day, the Day9 TV community is super friendly. Go to the Day9 TV chat at any point in time, and you'll be welcomed warmly. And again, concretely, that year, they secretly collected and donated $12,000 to help pay off my student loans. It's an incredibly nice feeling when you do nothing but contribute and get kindness in return. We also started to connect with community leaders. And here's a part that I think is very easy for someone who isn't involved in community to misunderstand. We found this website, day9fan.com, that was basically the website we should have had. Indexed all our content, had links to everything we did, information about me. And it's easy to look at that and say, hey, no, you're making something off my content, take it down. But that's not how community works. We reached out to this gentleman, his name's Gabe. We told him that he's awesome. I don't know why every time I hit this button it shoots to the 2011 growth panel, but I'll pull all the way back, cool. We reached out to this man, Gabe, and we said, we love what you do. Do you want to work with us? And since then, he has been our webmaster for Day9 TV. He's been with us for over 3 years now. Amazing guy. Bernat from Barcelona sent us this logo. Just wanted to make something cool and gave it to us. The currency of communities is contribution. With a contribution like that, I said, dude, can we use this graphic? And he was delighted. And we further asked him, after seeing how great his work was, Could he make our Day9 TV brand? Given that he was a member of the community, that he had shown an ability to do great work, the Day9 TV brand was born. We didn't even have to have any say in it. He just made this all on his own. And with Gabe and Bernat, the two fellows from this previous slide, we've been able to make a whole suite of things and expand it out. The big takeaway in this first year and a half of Day9 TV is that all our videos, all our projects, everything we did were free contributions. It was free. We pushed no pay-for product. There was no barriers to anything that we did. And the success is spoken for in these numbers, that each stream averaged 5,000 to 15,000 concurrents, with 10 times that in the archive. If you make for your community, if you contribute, you can build that community, especially by relying upon and empowering those members. So 2011 brought some new challenges where we had to learn about managing a large community. In particular, how do you stay personal if you can't talk to everybody? I'm a huge believer in talking at someone, talking to them, not above them, not beneath them, just talking like a normal person, but it's hard when there's a lot of them. I don't know why that slide's going to keep coming up, but it will. There we go. Here's the slide. How can you stay personal if you can't talk to everyone? We began to learn the importance of communicating efficiently. If I respond to a tweet or an email, well, it's great for you. You got to read that. But what about everybody else? And we started to focus on looking for opportunities for public one-on-one interaction. We favor Reddit, forums, Twitch TV chat. I can be in my stream, and Manbon can make a joke, and I can read it out loud and say a joke back to Manbon, and all 10,000 people get to see that interaction happen. With that one interaction, we get the opportunity to let tens of thousands know that we care, and we understand that each of them is a person, not a statistic. One of the big things that we also have been doing forever, and this is, I think, one of the most critical parts of the Day9 TV business, staying as late as possible after every single event. Obviously, eSport events are very grueling, but at the end of those, still staying till 3, 4, 5 in the morning, till everyone gets a chance to talk and chat, because this is your chance to find the super fan, the person who cares most about what you do. Ever hear people talk about the vocal minority and the silent majority? Well, the silent majority hangs out after events and they want to talk to you. This allows us to get qualitative data that quantitative data would never be able to reveal. A statement that we would get from hundreds of people: I really wish I could play in a tournament, even though I'm a Bronze League player. Well, great, no problem. We got to show the community we cared by building what they asked for. All our projects in 2011 were driven and dictated by what we heard from the community in a lot of these one-on-one conversations. Increased distribution, started to do variety video content. Fun Day Monday, the Total Have a Good Time Dick Around show every Monday. Newbie Tuesday, teaching how to get into this difficult game, StarCraft. I played Amnesia. Because you're like, I want to see you get tortured. And I was like, all right. Supported a tournament, the GeForce SC2 Pro-Am, that allowed anybody to enter at any skill level with no cap on the number of entrants. We started the After Hours Gaming League, and we have some players here, I understand. Woo! Woo! Hang in there, guys. And I want to talk about the HGL. It's a corporate for-fun league for gamers at major companies. The inaugural season kicked off in the After Hours Gaming League with companies like Microsoft and Amazon, of course. And we went all out with this, based upon what the community was telling us. We created a system for a website that would moderate the tournament side of things. We made it a live event with a live finals, not just online. I casted games. We got Total Biscuit and Husky StarCraft and others to cast. We even got pro gamer booths for them to play in, because they said that that would be a really cool thing to do. By listening to the community, we were able to make this cool thing. There's even weird ways in which you can ask your community for help. Very simple question in 2011. Day9 TV obviously is trying to be a business. We wanted to increase revenue. The way that we were making a lot of revenue was by those pre-roll ads at the start of the video. And we thought, well, if we break it into 3 parts, we'll get 3 pre-roll ads. Nah. But we don't want to anger our community. So we just asked. We said to them, okay, I want to break into 3 parts because it will help make more money for us without really doing much more effort. It has the benefit of giving breaks in the show, a little more structure to the show, but I don't want it to interrupt your viewing experience, and I understand that if I'm running commercials, that's annoying. Very honest. Didn't just list the pros, but the pros and the cons. What we found was 400 emails were sent within 24 hours saying, please do this. One of the most upvoted threads ever on the StarCraft subreddit at the time was saying, let's let Day9 know he should run ads. Empower your community, empower your audience, even with things like business decisions, because they will help dictate to you what is appropriate. And finally, the slide that you've kind of seen like 5 times already. This is a graph of the growth based upon this, and it goes up and right. It's very successful for us to listen to our community. So now that we had this huge community, we thought, let's do some cool things with them. And this is where it was really exciting talking to Red Bull, because we knew that a community dream was to get esports huge. I know that's not a sentence, but that's what the community thinks. Get esports as big as humanly possible. And it's no secret what Red Bull did to help support extreme sports and help grow that. Maybe they can do the same for esports. And in particular, maybe with the help of the Day9 TV community, we can make something happen. In 2010, we were able to use the community and all their brilliance and all their awesomeness as collaborators for the launch party. What would happen if we began to work with them at Red Bull? So we pitched a suite of events to Red Bull, like training lands, tournaments, community-focused events. And this was very challenging for the Day9 TV team because it's always been a single-digit number of people. But we wanted to plan these massive scale events. And immediately things that were sort of surprising happened. Our very first event, a training land in Orlando, had competition from the community. The Texas Esports Association, TESPA, was running a great tournament called the Lone Star Clash. And so a lot of viewers were watching that and not watching our event. It's very easy at this point in time to say something like, we got to make our stuff better than theirs so people will want to watch us instead. But that's not how community works. We reached out to Adam and Tyler Rosen, two of the heads of TESPA, and just said, we really like what you do. And they said, we like what you do. And immediately began working together on the Red Bull Battlegrounds event. It was a sold-out event at the Moody Theater down in Austin, Texas. They organized the student body at the University of Texas to pass out flyers to promote it at their school, even helped with things like social media, updating results on forums. They knew exactly what to do because they were of the community and understood the community. We worked on this thing called the Trials of the Xel'Naga for the next event, which is basically the Hunger Games for StarCraft, where 2 pros play against each other, and the audience votes live to drop nuclear missiles on their bases and have horrible things happen to them. And it was so much fun to do. Would have been impossible without the help of Adam and Tyler Rosen and TESPA. A lot of the graphics were done by Bernard and Gabe, the fellows from the 2010 section. This was an amazing amount of support that we got. 2012 would have been impossible without the support of the community. And of course, the community reception was fantastic to these events. 8 million views from Day9 TV community side alone. This is not for all of the events. This is just from the Day9 TV community side. Empower your community leaders is one of the most important things that was emphasized to us in 2012. Also, these images are copyright Red Bull Media House. Covering my bases, nice. So 2013 was coming around the corner, and I was kind of having a big regret at this point in time. I felt like we did a very good job in 2012 of communicating with the leaders at Team Liquid, Adam and Tyler Rosen, these great members of the community. But we wanted to have a focus back on the average Joes of the community, the people that were signing up for the GeForce SC2 Pro-Am back in 2011. And my big regret is that we didn't refocus and build tools for just regular community members to have fun and interact with each other. So here's the old website. It's all about me. Look at that. There's me, and there's the videos on the right and the archive, and I put my Twitter feed there. I don't know. And we thought, we're going to revamp everything. It's going to be a community-focused website. Now, all the show stuff is crammed on the right side, and it's all about forums, community, getting the chance to talk with each other. We created tools that make it very easy to drag and drop images to edit and to get notifications when people are talking to you, when your content is viewed. And the community went just insane with amazing stuff. We selected a name, the Day Knights. Yes. And all of a sudden, without me doing anything, a Day9 League formed, weekly hangouts, Dungeons & Dragons group, a National Novel Writing Month group, Los Angeles meetups started to happen. I even got the chance to attend 3 of them. People began doing massive Hearthstone content and tournaments. I didn't have to do anything. And honestly, what I end up doing in the show a lot of the time, the show that is the anchor for this community, is just showing these things, going, hey, for God's sake. I just say, hey, I know it's November and many of you are writing novels and other of you are growing beards. Here's a link in the forum. So we got the chance to have these amazing things pop up on our forum, and we saw that the amount of time that people were spending hanging out on the forum tripled very quickly and continues to grow over time. Again, my biggest regret is not doing this sooner because it provides such a cohesive home. Now, in terms of the anchor content, I'm a person. The community members are people. We should think about this content like people. If the community is getting into things like, novel writing, different games, hangouts around different games, it's a good idea and great to build content around that. But what's so important, and I think the biggest mistake that can be made right now, is just don't do anything that isn't natural to you. People were saying, oh, do Day9, you should totally participate in the novel writing month. I'd love to read your book. That's not really my thing, and that's okay to say. But by having this community home, it's very easy to look at the community's interests and find overlaps. We're all gamers at our core, so we started the Day9's Day Off, where on Fridays I just stream a game all day, oftentimes suggestions from the communities that sound interesting to me. And eventually, it spawned spin-off shows like Hearthstone. I love Hearthstone. I'm up till 4 in the morning, way too much on Hearthstone. And the community loves it too, so we began to shift content into the Hearthstone space. Again, grow with your community, but you don't have to force anything. Be a real person. And in the summer of 2013, one of the fellows from the After Hours Gaming League Season 1 who played for Facebook, his name's Ankur, approached me and said, hey, we have this really cool idea. Wouldn't it be great if you could click a URL link and without any download or plugin, you'd suddenly be playing a game with great graphics fidelity and all the normal latency of a multiplayer game? And I was like, wow, it sounds great, and that's totally impossible. But then he showed me a working demo with his laptop having a phone tethered to it for internet connection. I was blown away. And he said, hey, you want to make a game? And I was like, yeah. So there, just like that, working with a member of the community, Ankur, played StarCraft, actually still plays a ton of StarCraft. We're all members of the community. We all get what it means to be a member. So now that Day9 TV is embarking upon this journey to create a game, our focus is to continue to stay focused on the community. Our goal is to make a community-driven game. We don't want to be that person that hides away, works on a game for 18 months, and then finally surprises our community. We could do that, but that's not really what community is about. And I want to come back to these 3 big themes that we've seen throughout these 5 years. What can I do for my community? I can make for them the game that they want to play. How are we doing that? We're being very real and hanging out with them, bringing in members of the community to talk with us about our development process, not sending an alpha or a beta, but literally a prototype to them so they can give us that feedback. And we're very real throughout this. Yeah, that bug is there, and it'll probably be there for 3 months because it's a difficult one to solve. If you can look past it, can you give us feedback? We're doing twice a week external play tests with members of the Day9 TV community to get that extremely tight feedback loop. In fact, the entire pipeline at the company is designed around rapid iteration and being able to involve that community. And this brings us to the most important aspect, is that these community members are empowered to dictate the course of this game, to dictate what the game will be about. And that is really the true power of community. That's really how Day9 TV has been able to exist for so long. We've gone from focusing in esports content to event planning to community building to now making a game. Despite all our changes and all the changes that our space has seen, we've been able to get here today because of the amazing support of the community that we've worked very hard to nurture and grow. And I hope that you too do the same thing, because nothing will cheer you up so much as hanging out with your community. So thanks so much. Thanks so much for coming to the talk. I have no idea if there's time for questions, but this isn't even a fraction of all the stuff that went on with Day9 TV and Artillery, so if you want to come talk to me, do it, or email me. It's right there. Thank you.